beautiful door to take our perspective. Welcome to the cave, Elvish, Portugal. We are going for a walk to find a tree to sit beneath, to have a conversation. Something just popped in my mind that I would really like to share with you. I think it's going to be potent and powerful for you to understand and divine with me. It's beautiful. They call this the Elvish okra color. Only in Elvish. Let's go find this tree. I really enjoy these sideways streets, these little tiny avenues all throughout Portugal, and these towns with character. Some colors, dilapidated buildings amongst beautiful, ornate doors and such. It's all over like this. Get your mind thinking, lots of juxtapositions between the past, the present, and the future, and always now. I love this. I've been inside this. It's called the Bishop's House. Amazing property. Ancient in its ways. Lots going on here. There should be a favorite tree of mine, except for one thing, is it's windy. And the breeze might blow your brains out a little bit too much on these microphones, because I don't have a dead cat on a microphone. And the path to make our way. So many trees and so much wind, so I dropped us into the orange orchard to express our minds, to see what we might see. Glasses or no glasses, it's a little bright for me. Anyways, it's nice to be able to look into the eyes, but I'm gonna draw them down as we run upon this potential demise for some, but not for you. So there was something that I wanted to share with you, and it's this idea, it's this kind of truth, and it's a little bit unfortunate, but it's a necessity in life. Sometimes people need to be mad at somebody. Sometimes people need to be angry at another. And oftentimes, if you're an empathetic, kind human being, you will be the one that they will be mad at. And the reason why is because there's no threat in losing that relationship with you necessarily. But there is a downside to it for you if this is what's happening, and that is you can take it personally. You can make it something about yourself when in fact it really isn't. It's about the other person who's actually hurting, and they need an easy target because they don't know how to express themselves otherwise. So sometimes people really want to be hurt, and they really want to hurt, and they really want to stay in their story around that hurt. And that's okay. It's not for anyone to change or try to transform them or make them do or be something other than they are. That's for them. Now, particularly in this time of year, in the holidays, you'll start to feel it a little bit more because people start to really express and feel their loneliness at a level that they aren't always feeling it, just because of what's going on in the holiday season, with so many people appearing to connect and having these, intimate relationships with their family and friends. And a lot of people, they don't have someone either to be intimate with, or family that's close, or maybe they're estranged from the family, or they are with their family, but nevertheless it still exists for each and every one of us to feel. So it's a quite contradictory thing to experience, and you will. And I have lots of experience with it, so that's why I can speak to it as I can, because I've seen it, I've experienced it over and over and over. You get this also in intimate relationships as well, and it always seems so backwards, like how the people that you love the most, that apparently love you, that say they love you, and behave as they do, also strike out and hurt you, right? This is nothing new. This is nothing that you haven't had light shed on before. But maybe this will open up a different kind of door to a realization that you can let it go, and that will create a lightness in you and renew a kind of flow. And I can be given to rhythms and rhymes like this in some way, but I'll stop myself at the moment. But I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's really potent, really powerful, and it's really a necessity to hear and understand. And, in a society that is overdone and saturated in feel good all the time, always be positive, always just, jam in the best way, man. Make it happen for yourself. You can do it. Keep your chin up. Keep your chin up. It's important just to have these things floating around our minds, to have these realizations and understandings. It also allows for a kind of neutral empathy, if you will. So no sympathy, just empathy, but you don't have to get involved or roll around in other people's dramas. But when you have that kind of ability where you can recognize that some people just need to hurt, or some people need somebody to take it out on, and express or feel like they have some power in the world, this will often happen to you, and they'll reflect back on you in this regard, and they won't even necessarily know they're doing it, and they will confabulate and write a story to justify what they are saying and how they are responding. It's okay. It's just how it is. Obviously, I'm not talking about anything that's has to do with physical abuse or anything like this, and I'm not justifying any of these things by saying they're okay. Hey, just let them. No, it's not this. It's different. You get this. You can understand what I'm saying. It's watching and seeing and being open to what's coming at you, and then being able to let it go and realize it's somebody else's gift, and you don't have to accept their gift. They can keep it, but it has the potential to draw you in and to throw a rope around your ankles and then tie you into the water and sink you down if you buy into it, if you get caught up in it. And if you do, you need to do whatever you can to just cut that rope so you can float and swim back up to the surface. It's very easy to get tangled in it. It's very easy to start reflecting on yourself and feeling like, oh my God, what did I do? Do I need to do something? Do I need to say something? I don't even know what I did because I didn't do anything, and you didn't do anything, and it's really wild and crazy. But you see these patterns over and over in humans, and when you see them enough, and you can help other people move past it and through it. So if they're tied, if you recognize this in somebody else, excuse me for itching my nose, it's cold and my nose itches, so keeping it real here with you. But you might know somebody who's experiencing that with somebody else, and they don't know what to do with it, and they're constantly now spinning in their own mind trying to figure out what they did wrong when they didn't do anything wrong at all. And you can assist them and be there for them and just let them know, some people are going to be mad at you just because that's what they need to do. And I'm using the word need. It's not a need, of course, but the person who's reflecting and responding and reacting to another in this regard, it's a need for them because they can't see that it's not. So it's a little bit confusing in that regard, but that's why having that deep level of empathy for yourself primarily, being able to let another live their life and do as they're going to do without it reflecting onto you and into you, and realizing for yourself if you are struggling that it's just a thought, it feels real, it's emotion, it's creating a whole series of sensations within you. But once you see the truth for yourself, it's very freeing. It doesn't mean you won't still feel. You're going to have emotions. We can't help it. It's just as part of the thing. It's just part of being human. But let them go as best you can, and just realize this is the case. It just is the case, especially this time of year. So a smile, an inner smile for yourself, letting go of all of it and not concerning yourself with it too much. Your mind will go to it if it's something or someone that's close to you. It's just how it works. But then just having that realization and letting it go. It's masterful. It's beautiful. And plus it lets you roll with that kind of empathy for all sentient beings. And when you have that level of empathy for all, you're free in a lot of different ways that people won't understand or grasp. And that can also cause them to reflect back on you with a kind of harshness that you might not have ever experienced before, because then again you become an easy target because they know you're not going to react back to you. It doesn't mean you ever become a doormat. It just means that you're non-reactive, because it just doesn't matter, because you can see right through it. And that's the kind of lucidity that you will be living with once you start to explore and experience and really get and know for yourself what I'm speaking of. And I know you know, because you always do. It's right there. Just take a moment, sit under a tree, an orange orchard in Portugal, and let the revelations fall into your mind. All right, I love you so much. Always deep appreciation. There's another beautiful tree. The leaves have fallen. It is definitely winter time. All right, ciao.